Well, folks, happy F to you. Fourth. Yeah, fourth. Happy 4th of July, folks. Man, I'm sitting there eating some porridge, right? Some porridge. What is porridge, y'all? Come on now. Oatmeal. And I'm in my chair. I'm in my thought place, I guess. God has kind of been orchestrating some things, for me and my wife here over the last week, in which we're trying to figure out our place in it, and like, okay, what are you saying, God, and what are you really doing? What's really going on? And this thing about faith it's been a neon sign within my spirit, over the last year. My family and I, my wife and I, have been in this place where God has, for years, it's been about being still, so be still, wait, be still, wait. And in the waiting and in the being still, that's still a doing. And it's a tough thing. And I know some of you guys know about that. Well, most all of us should know about, what it's like to hold on, or to wait, or have patience, or to be still. But, that's been our thing, being still. So as God has been slowly edging in this faith thing, in the way that I know that it's been about, okay, moving and or doing something in, here in a bit. But it's a weird transition. So I had to start this off this way because, to give you a little context on, what I'm getting ready to say. So again, for years, it's been a type of being still for us in a lot of different situations, and it was rough, but I believe we've become used to it, and we've gotten, we've gotten familiar with it. So, not saying that it's still easy, but we got some practice, So I'm sitting there thinking. I'm thinking about, it says there's nothing, there's a time and a season for everything. There's a time let me just go straight to the thing. Let me just read it from the place, man. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven. There's a time to be born, and then there's a time to die. There's a time to plant and a time to harvest. It says a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up. I'm just going to stop right there. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, there is a time to sow and a time to reap. A time to sow, you sow your seed, and then there's a time to harvest what you've sown. Now, that's how I always heard that. I always like, okay, you do a thing, you sow a thing, and then you reap the results of what you sown, and that is right. But then I was thinking about it. I was like, well, you know what, faith. When we talk about being born and dying, those are two separate things. Those are two distinctly different things. Yes, in order to die, you got to be here, of course, but though they are two distinctly different things. So I'm like, okay, there is a time to sow and a time to harvest. So when you sow your seed, you're not even really, when it's harvest time, it's not even about receiving the same seed or the same harvest from the same seed. Yes, that is absolutely possible. But I think the bigger truth is, God is like, it takes faith for you to sow the seed. How many times have we've given, and whether it's our tithes, offerings, or just given to something is like, maybe it was uncomfortable for us, so it took a bit of faith to do it. So it takes faith to sow the seed, but it also takes faith to receive the harvest, or to harvest your seed, to gather up that seed or that thing. But why does it take faith to gather that? You know what I mean? Why does it take faith to bag up what you sown? A farmer plants corn. He sows a seed of corn. The corn grows. He goes and gathers the corn from the seed that he sown. But why does it take faith to do that? Because remember, without faith, it's impossible to please God. So again, faith is the common denominator. So it's there at all times as we operate in the spirit or in the kingdom systems. You know what I mean? So if it takes faith to harvest what you've sown, then God is saying something. God is saying that there is and this is simple, but for me, I just got this revelation this way. So maybe it'll spark something in you. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you already absolutely know it. But for me, it was a light bulb. So and remember in context to what we've been going through. So from being still and for the years and just being still that way to God saying, okay, in order for you to move to your next level or to receive what you've been waiting on, now it's going to take you harvesting from the seeds that you've sown. But that's going to take faith, because it's going to require you to do something to move towards something that you may not have thought you had to move towards it in that way, because it's faith. I had an example yesterday. I was talking to my wife about it, and we did a video. And one of the things that I said, I can't find the paper, but it was like faith is an action in conjunction with the specific thing that you need. So my example to her was maybe she and I are having an argument. So the atmosphere is getting a little rough, and we don't want to argue, and we don't want the atmosphere to be rough. But nonetheless, something triggered the emotions that triggered the argument or the rough atmosphere that caused us to kind of shut down, right? So I don't want to be in that atmosphere. She doesn't want to be in that atmosphere. We want to be in a different atmosphere. We want to be in a different place, in a different state towards one another. We want to be in love and peace and joy and all that stuff. So something is going to have to be done in faith to activate the atmosphere that we want. So let's use me. So I'm thinking about this, and I said, you know what? I'm going to have to lean in here and give her a kiss. And I think it's case specific too, because I know with my wife, I can do certain things and she'll soften up. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody's wife is different. I don't know. But I said, you know what? I can lean in here and I can give her a kiss, and then she'll soften up. And in turn, it'll make me soften up, and it'll make the atmosphere change. But nonetheless, it takes faith for me to do that, because I'm believing, or I'm hoping, that if I lean in here and give her a kiss, if I act on faith, then it's going to manifest the atmosphere that I want to have in the moment. So it's a specific thing for a specific moment, and then and you do it, and it happens. So it's the same way with our, when we're on our path, the things that are on our path, maybe they're the jewels that are on our path. We have to actively, by faith, go out and seek the jewels that are already there. You know what I mean? But again, it's something, I hope it's making sense. It's something that God is saying in the specific seasons. Faith is the common denominator. When it's time to go and act on that specific thing, you have to do it. You have to move. And when you move in that faith and in that trust, according to the situation, then everything changes. Then you get it. Then it happens. Then it manifests. It turns on. It switches. So I hope that made sense, man. Didn't want to be long. If you just jumped in here, you can go back and check it out. I'm about to repost it here. Oh, that's you. That's you, girl. Kisses. I think it's you. I hope it's you. But anyway, Let Me Talk Radio. I'll talk to you. Peace.